Hello, writers. I'm Lee Jessup, career coach for emerging and professional screenwriters, as well as business of screenwriting instructor with the David Lynch grad program for cinematic studies. If you watched my last video, you know that this past weekend in LA, I had the good fortune of moderating the buyers and sellers panel at Storytelling 360 with super agent David Boxerbaum, great manager Adam Kolbrenner, as well as studio executive David Beaubert. The subject of short stories came up, and this is something that comes up often, and I hear about it. Came up because Boxerbaum has thus far sold 31 short stories in the professional space. I know a lot of writers have questions about, wait, hold on, should I be writing short stories now? So I wanted to give you a little bit of background on it, how this came to be, and what this means for you as a writer, and whether or not that's something that you should be pursuing. So from what Boxerbaum says, he discovered the first story that he sold, which was a viral story on Reddit, and was able to get that one sold and get the writer of that material a book deal, and find a second story on Reddit. And I believe that that's how it all got started for him. I work with writers who have sold short stories. I find that today, most writers that are able to get short stories read and sold are writers who already have representation. They may be in the novel space and approaching a cinematic concept from a short story angle. They don't tend to be on Reddit anymore, for good or bad. So I don't think that this is something that is wide open for writers everywhere. I don't think that reps generally, when considering writers to bring on, are looking primarily at short stories. Now, if you have a really great screenplay or two and you are talking to a manager who's asking to see additional material, can you bring up that short story? Absolutely, and I would, and I encourage you to. But from everything that I'm gathering, and I ran this by Boxerbaum and Kolbrenner, when we were in the green room getting ready to go out, just to get a sense whether or not they thought that short stories are viable as an initial introductory tool to the industry and to the narrative filmed industry, right? So movies or TV shows. And what I got was not really. So I would continue developing screenplays and pilots. It is all about that long form content. It's not about short film. It's not about short series. It is about features and pilots. Of course, if you have something that you want to explore as a short story, I'm not going to stop you from it, but understand that it will likely not be the first thing that will introduce you to a representative working in the scripted space, because now most of these stories, and my clients who have sold short stories to the industry, including some very big sales, are writers that are already known to the industry. And a short story gives us a different way in to a particular story that is then developed from the ground up with the writer. So I hope this explains it a little bit about this change in the landscape, something that we do see happening, which is short stories being sold by mostly now working writers, and clarifies to you whether or not that is something that you should be expanding energy on. All right. I hope you found this helpful. If so, of course, as always, subscribe for more. And speaking of more, there will be more coming. Bye.